Yeah. All right. I'm live now. All right. So here is percentage review. So for a quick review, when we're ever looking for a problem that's asking for a percentage of a number or what percent, we're going to use our is over of. So we always set it up equals in the middle and two equivalent fractions. We have is over of, and then our percentage is over here, and percentages are always out of 100. So this is what we're going to keep on using over and over again. And let's get some practice in. So let's say we're looking for 25% of, let's say, 60. So we're immediately going to set up our is over of. We have a percent over here, is and of, and then 100 down here next to our percent. So all we have to do is annotate our problem to group numbers with each symbol. So first I see, sorry, I actually skipped something in the prompt. Instead of 25% of 60, it should be what is. So I'm grouping what is together, and now our number right before percent's always going to be our percent. So we have 25%. And finally, we have of 60. So all we have to do to finish is fill in information. So I'm going to take whatever's next to my is, and it says what. So that means we don't know what it is. So once again, we put an X next to the is because we don't know what it is. Next, I'm going to fill in my percentage. I have 25%, and that goes on top of my 100. So 25 out of 100 is the same thing as 25% because percent means how many per 100. And finally, I'm going to put 60 where my of is, right here. So then we have to solve. So since we have the denominator of both fractions, we want to figure out how to connect these two numbers. And because we have both numerator and denominator on percentage, we're going to use that to start. So we want to go from 100 to 60 and from 25 to x. But we don't know what number we can multiply 100 by to get 60. So whenever there isn't an obvious answer to multiply or divide 100 by to get the second number, what you're going to do is simplify. So we have 25 hundredths equals something out of 60. I'm going to simplify 25 hundredths. Well, I know that 25 goes into 25, and 25 also goes to 100. If you think about money, 25 cents, quarters go into 100 cents. So I'm going to divide by 25. Which is going to simply give us 1 quarter. 25 out of 100 is 1 quarter, just like 25 cents out of 100 cents is 1 quarter. So now we can use this to finish our problem. 1 quarter is equal to x out of 60. And now we just have to go from 4 to 60. Well, I know 4 times 10 is 40. So I need 20 more. And I know 4 times 5 is 20. So I add them up. X is going to be 15. Let's do a couple more practice problems. For these next couple problems, I'm going to ask you to pause, write it down on a piece of paper, and try to solve it for yourself. Then unpause the video and see if you got it right. So my next question is going to be is 25 is what percent of 75? Actually, let's make it 25 is what percent of 150. That should be a little easier. So at this point, pause your video. Try and solve it on your own. And then when you're done, unpause. All right. So once again, set up your is over of and your percent and annotate. This time, our first number is grouped with is. Now we have no number in front of percent. So we have what percent, and finally we have of 150. So all I have to do to finish is fill in our information. So next to our is, we have 25. So find is, put 25. Next to our of, we have 150. So of 150. And then we don't know what percent it is, so we're going to put that x. Once again, it's not super easy to see how we get from 150 to 100, so we're going to simplify. $25 goes into both numbers once again, so we are going to divide by 25. $25 divided by 25 is 1. 150 divided by 25. Think for a second. That is 6. This is 1/6. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. So we have 1/6 is equal to x hundredths. But is 6 a factor of 100? I don't think it is. So we're going to find something close. So we know 6 times 10 is 60. So we need 40 more. We know 6 times 6 is 36. So together that's 96. So if x was 16, that'd be 96. But we still have 4 more to go until we get to 100. So we're going to have to look for what we can multiply 6 by to get 4. Now that's not going to be a whole number, so we're going to write it as a fraction. 6 over 1 times something equals 4 wholes. Well, what we're going to have to do is multiply by 4/6. 6 wholes times 4/6 is going to end up giving us, we can cross cancel, is going to end up giving us 4. So our answer is 16 and 4/6. Or if you simplify by dividing by 2, we get 16 and 2/3%. This is what you have to do when you do not have easy multiples of 100. But I'm going to give you one more easy problem that you will have those factors. Seven is 14% of what number? So once again, pause, think about what you're doing, do it on paper. Once you're done, go ahead and try and solve. So once again, annotate. Group 7 with is. Our first number is going to come with the first word. Then we have a number right in front of percent. And finally, we don't know of what number we're looking for. So we're going to set up our is over of, well, as always, and our percentage. And then fill information. 7 is over on the right. 14%. Percent is on the left. 14 out of 100. And we don't know what number we're looking for. Of what number? So this time it's straightforward. We're looking to go from 14 to 7 and 10 to x. Well, 7 times 2 is 14, so 14 divided by 2 is 7, and 100, we're going to do the same thing because we're working with equivalent fractions. So 100 divided by 2, what's that? Well, 100 divided in half is 50. So 7 is 14% of 50. I'm going to stop there for now. I hope this was a little bit helpful for reviewing how to use is over of to find the 3 different types of percentage problems. And I hope you have a great evening.